Hello citizens and welcome to another video. My name is The Hero and today I wanted to talk about Pixar's Ratatouille. You know, the movie about Remy the rat trying to prove that anyone can cook. But what if I told you that he wasn't the first rodent to display culinary art? And right now you're probably like, but Hero, this is a fictional world, it's a kid's movie. Why can't there just be one rat that decides he wants to cook one day? And my reason is because of that reason. It's a fictional world. There's gotta be more to it. Well, trust me, The Hero has the facts and it's gonna blow your mind. So as we know, Remy is all about trying to prove himself and wants to be the Chef Gusteau apprentice, right? Because he loves Chef Gusteau. But there's more to Gusteau even than we know. There's way more going on with that man behind closed doors than even the film shows itself. So there's a theory out there that claims Chef Gusteau was actually controlled by a rat, similar to how Linguini and Remy operate together, which, can I add, is just very unsanitary. No matter how much I love this movie, it is kind of weird. How does that even work? How does the physics even work? Maybe that's a theory for another video of how Remy is able to control Linguini with just pulling on his hair. Because if there's some secret sauce to that about controlling people by pulling hair, I need to know it so I can get all my stuff done for me all the time. Come on now. That's like the modern day mind control. Anyways, Gusteau is a famous chef in the Ratatouille universe. You know, he's got this 5-star restaurant that's been so good for years. He's wrote cookbooks, to prove that he is a chef, because you have to do that nowadays. You have to have a cookbook or you're not a master chef. I feel like every person in the world now makes a book when they're famous. It's like part of the checklist of being famous is like, all right, become famous, make book. Don't worry, the Hero book is coming at you very soon. Because according to Famous Birthdays, I'm famous. I don't know how that one squeezed by. But apparently it's rumored that Gusteau died by having a bad review. And this is why, folks, they tell you to be nice on the internet, because one little bad review can make someone disappear. The internet's a dangerous place. Yet while Ratatouille claims that Gusteau was a master chef in the kitchen, there are clues that suggest that he wasn't the genius that everyone thought he was. Sorry, Remy, but they do tell you to never meet your idols. But Ratatouille also tells a story about a rat wanting to become a chef and is inspired by Gusteau, and with encouragement from an imaginary Gusteau that flies around in his head. Yeah, I wish I had a master celebrity tell me what to do to become very successful and have all the things in life handed to me. I mean, I'm just saying, that's like a cheat code, okay, Remy? But Remy follows his dreams and flees to Paris and decides to find Gusteau's restaurant, and then antics ensue and things happen throughout the movie, and then pretty much Remy becomes a chef on his own and it has his own rat restaurant. I don't know if that's exactly what he wanted his dreams to be, but I guess can't always have the cake and eat it too. Isn't that how the saying goes? What does that even mean? But let's go back to the theory about Gusteau being controlled by a rat, because it's not far off. In a scene in the beginning of the movie when Remy is watching Gusteau on the TV in that old lady's house, who, by the way, I'm pretty sure was Anton Ego's mother, but in this commercial that appears on the TV, Gusteau is on top of a bunch of magazine covers that flash across the screen, and something made these hero eyes keen in. In a blink and you'll miss it moment, on one of the magazine covers, it appears that Gusteau's hat is lifted, and it seems like there's something underneath it. I don't know about you, but the only things that happen to be underneath hats in this movie, in this fictional world of Ratatouille, is rats, and it kind of looks like one. But at this point, you're probably like, okay, this is just like a trick of the eyes. It's the animation. It looks like he just has a little feather of hair hanging out. And I get it. I see all of your fight back, all the urge to prove the hero wrong and to show that this theory doesn't make sense at all and that the hero is just trying to ruin kids' movies. And like, no, I love this movie too, guys. You forget that. I'm a big Disney fan. I'm not trying to ruin these movies. Or am I? But really, I have more facts to back this up, okay? This is not just a speculation. This isn't something that just comes out of the whim and that the audiences are just like, hey, oh yeah, this is true. No, there's more to back this up. You remember when Chef Skinner, the antagonist who's actually just trying to get rid of the rats because it's unhygienic and really shouldn't be the bad guy in the movie? It's funny how movies really make you think about who is actually in the right. Chef Skinner tries to prove that, Gusteau is not Linguini's father. There's that whole scenario of him trying to get DNA from Gusteau's hat so he gets a strand of hair and gets it tested, right? But what ends up happening with this strand of hair, you might be asking, or you might just not remember because it physically tells us in the movie. Well, his lawyer goes and gets a DNA test for this strand of hair and it comes back as rodent hair. Yep, ladies and gentlemen, fact proven, theory locked in, it is a rat hair. Where would Gusteau get rat hair inside of his hat? That's right, this hero has become the Batman himself, the detective. The eyes are keen on all the little details, And you can't prove that this theory isn't right. But this theory goes on to be even more compelling, okay? You thought the rat hair was the top of it all? No, 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 no. What if I told you that Gusteau actually didn't die from a bad review? Because let's be honest, if he did that, this would be a very much more dark Disney movie than I've ever seen in my life. And let's be honest, Disney goes down some dark routes. Let's just crumble that one up and throw it in the trash. Kobe. So if he didn't die from a bad review, how did Gusteau actually die? What if it was because of heartbreak? That's right, ladies and gentlemen. What if his rat friend that controlled him died? He ends up losing stars because he can't make food. I'm telling you, if minds aren't blown, I don't know what you're doing here. But these magazine covers that I talked about earlier with Gusteau on the front, they show more than just the rat. There's little tiny details that Pixar adds to their movies, and this is something that I picked up on very soon. In the first magazine, on the cover, Gusteau is smiling. However, on the second cover, Gusteau's face turns more panicky. His hat is raised, but he doesn't look as happy as he did on the first cover. And of course, there's that faint image on top of his head that might be hair, but I don't think so. If it was indeed a rat, which is what this whole video is about, is the mind-controlling race of human-like rat people that control chefs and people in the world, what if the rats are the Illuminati? But if it was a rat on top of his head, like so let's say that is a rat, it does mirror the way that Remy sits on top of Linguini's head. Am I the only one that sees this? Which this could also play into why Gusteau always said, anyone can cook. In this way, the theory suggests that Gusteau wasn't the real chef, the master chef that we thought he was. He only became good after a rat controlled him, someone similar to Remy. Meaning Gusteau's mantra, you know, his motto that he lives by, anyone can cook, could apply to himself and would serve to make others feel like they could cook themselves as well, regardless of their size or species. Yeah, you see what I did there? Because, you know, human-like creatures in a make-believe world. Yeah, this is all adding up, okay? I'm telling you. Also, throughout the film, Skinner never takes any hair or other DNA samples, it seems like, from Linguini to test if Gusteau is his real dad. However, instead, it is assumed that Skinner takes the spit saliva. Spit saliva? That's the same thing, Hero. Come on. After they shared that bottle of wine and he tried to get Linguini drunk. Wait a second, maybe Skinner is bad after all. Non-consensual drunkenness? Feel like that's crossing a line somewhere. Thus, the rodent hair that he tests must have came from Gusteau's hat, further cementing the fact that Gusteau was controlled by a rat, and no one can disprove this, I'm sorry. And that star that he lost, you know, after his rat's death, this all plays into it because Anton Ego gives him a bad review. What if Anton Ego was served a meal that Gusteau made himself without his rat's help, forcing the bad review and forcing Gusteau to realize that he couldn't cook without his rat? And this all goes around to proving that there could be more animal chefs out in the Ratatouille world, in the Pixar universe, you know, because all Pixar movies are connected in some way or fashion. I don't know about you guys, but I feel like this can hold up in court. There's too many facts that prove this theory to be true. But at the end of the day, it's just a theory, as Matt Pat would say. But it is interesting to think about if this is true, if there are other animals out in the Pixar universe, right, that control humans to do everyday jobs, man. I'm telling you, the rat Illuminati is real in the Pixar universe. This also leads me to a theory I had about Ratatouille 2 and what that could presume and what that could be all about, which you can check out right here because, yeah, it's pretty interesting. And it includes a popular celebrity chef. Yeah, you probably know the one it includes because there's only one that really people care about. So check out that video and subscribe. And until the next video, bye-bye.